Yeah, going back to you starting your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You had the fastest growing YouTube I have ever seen in terms of subs. You went from like 0 to 60,000 now, 73. What is it?
70,000,
70,000, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy in a span of 5 fucking videos,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
That is wild.
It's crazy. Actually, for the first 3-4 months, I started in August. In December, I still had like 200 subscribers or something.
Yeah, but you had dropped like what, one video?
Like 4.
Oh,
But-
shit.
So here's the thing that happened. I wasn't planning on doing an MMA only channel first, right? But about a month after I posted the Jake versus Dana video on UFC Fighter Pay, this one had a little bump, like 200 views. And that's when I was considering doing either like a Jeff Bezos documentary or a Kobe Covington video. And that's when I was like, well, my channel's got like 20 more subscribers from the Jake and Dana. They're probably expecting, another MMA video. And I did it. And I had another small bump. And, I failed at a lot of projects. And I also saw a lot of people fail at different projects through times. And you realize that sometimes you have an initial vision of something, and instead of going with the flow, going with the current of the river, you try to swim towards
exactly.
that initial vision that you had, instead of just like flowing where the current takes you. And in this case, the YouTube algorithm was clearly pushing my content towards more people who liked MMA.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna ride that wave instead of just being so rigid about what I wanted to do initially. And the YouTube algorithm just
Lo
kept
and
on doing
behold,
its thing.
Bro,
Yeah.
the Kobe versus Masvidal fucking like work of art. You guys should look it up, man. Patrick Gavia. It was super sick. Storytelling is world class. I think you might be top 3 storyteller in all of Montreal. Honestly, at this point, I think it's me, Denis Villeneuve, and then you.
That's a fucking
No, I'm kidding, I'm
compliment.
kidding, I'm
Wow.
I'm kidding. But no, he's honestly world class, I find. A storyteller. Like, it's crazy. And then, I watched that. I was hooked the whole time. And I was like, wow, this is fucking good work. But then you stopped after the...
He retired, dude. He retired.
Who's the heavyweight, the last heavyweight?
Ngannou.
Ngannou, yeah, you did.
That's the one I
Ngannou?
saw, I think, a part of it.
Yeah.
And that was like a month ago, no?
I didn't stop, so I'm working on a Khabib doc. And Russia invaded fucking Ukraine, and it kind of stopped me in my flow. I'm still gonna do it, but I hesitated for a couple of days. Because you see all those Russians all over the world kind of
Taking heat?
Yeah.
Oh, because you don't want
And at first I was like, hey, you know what? I don't want to seem disrespectful towards
Ukraine or
Russia.
Russia.
by releasing something on that praises. And it's hard to talk about Khabib without talking about the culture there, without talking about Dagestan, without talking about Russia. But I think
Dagestan a part of Russia?
Yeah.
it's a republic, yeah. It's a part of Russia. But you know what? Since day one, I told myself that I would always respect my audience and the intelligence of my audience. I feel like that's a mistake I see a lot of content creators make. It's like they think people are dumb,
Mm-hmm.
People are fucking smart, yeah.
People are smart. They're much more smarter than content creators.
It's just that the dummies are the ones that get heard the most, Cause
yeah,
the
and
ones-
they're often the ones that are the most vocal. But
Mhm, exactly, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's like counterintuitive a bit.
yeah, but then what, you do something that offends them and they just leave or whatever,
Yeah.
And then you're kept with the people that are like you and that, they can think at that higher level. So I don't think, for instance, releasing a documentary on Khabib is an endorsement of the attack on Ukraine.
No, of course not.
No,
Exactly.
it's definitely
Especially
not.
since the story is not on that.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But it's almost, there is history there, but you can't help that. But do you feel like, are you going to make edits to the video?
Yeah, I made some. Yeah, because Putin was in the fucking video.
Oh,
Now,
no
what's
way.
ironic is that, and that I'm gonna keep it in. After Khabib jumped in the crowd, after Connor,
He saw Putin. Yeah, he was.
yeah, and Putin was like, "You can't attack people
Yeah.
randomly like
you
that."
use that as a...
Fuck,
oh
you can't be
my
sure.
God, that's such an analogy. of,
Yeah.
like,
Because
what's-
we always have that friend that gives us advice they don't listen to.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like you can't attack people like
Yeah.
that.
He goes
Yo, that's
stab somebody.
hilarious.
Yeah.
He could fucking invade the country.
That's fucking
A couple months later.
wild. Yeah, we should clip that. If you're not gonna use it, send it to us. We're gonna post that shit.
All right.
Controversial.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the reason why it's been taking longer.
Okay.
Partly. The second reason is I know expectations are high on this one. And sometimes, I felt like the Francis Ngannou video was really close to what I wanted to accomplish with it. I was like, wow, like I love that video. But then every time you produce something that you think is great, it terrifies you for what you're gonna release after. Because you're like, how do I top that?
Yeah.
Now I know at some point I'm gonna make a video that is not good. And I'm fucking terrified
of
of that.
moment.
I almost feel like at some point I should just accept that one video is not going to be good, but I fucking can't, man.
Mhm.
Like I need to make good shit. I don't want to let my audience down, and that's why I'm doing the Khabib video, and I'm like, no, it still sucks. No, it
Mhm.
fucking still sucks. It's not as good as the last one, and yeah, it's just a fucking struggle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like I feel like you need to expect failure. That's like one of the only ways to actually push forward.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I heard an interesting saying online. It was talking about the metrics of effort you put into something. So a lot of times you'll put like maybe one metric of time into something and bring it to like 90%, for instance. But there's very little difference in quality from taking it to 90 to like 94.
Yeah.
But you spend that same amount of
Yeah.
time you took from 0 to 90,
Mhm.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time they were saying, yo, you should just publish it at 90% consistently over trying to bring it up to 94,
Mhm.
That's what I'm wondering, because if you think about the 1% of like the best people in the world, right? Like sometimes it's just a tiny bit of improvement that is gonna distinguish like the best from the fucking greatest of all time. Like
Yeah.
even the
I
fighters.
think it's different for art though because it's like super subjective.
Absolutely.
So like a 90% thing could seem like 100% for
Yeah.
some people. It's like
Yeah.
Like one of the things when we were working together that I felt like was that because we were going for quantity, I didn't feel necessarily like I was improving consistently, because you only improve by giving your best on each and every single thing you do. And if you're just like cookie cutting, repeating the same formula,
but you're getting better at doing it faster.
doing it faster.
Yeah. But not necessarily optimizing quality. You're optimizing quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also if you're aware, and maybe that's what's hurting me, is like if you're aware of the expectation of the audience, it's like when you start making like a video, right? And it's something that people have never seen before. Their expectations went from 0 to like, 90, right? So there's a difference of like, let's say 90. And
It's
they
true.
expect, and it's the contrast
Mhm.
that surprises people, right? And they expect the same level of contrast with each subsequent video afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. But it gets smaller, bro.
Yeah, it's like
The difference is smaller.
again, Christopher Nolan, let's say, his earlier movies, it's like mind blown, mind blown, mind blown. And like, hey, he can't maybe blow your fucking mind with
again and again. Yeah.
but that's the expectation.
yeah.
You go in with high expectation and you expect your expectation to be fucking surpassed.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's just because we're selfish human beings. It's like you just want more and more and more.
More.
Better. Yeah.
And at the same time, it's stressful, but I fucking love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's this, like, I fucking love the pressure.
What does your creative process look like? Like I know
Sit
that
down, coffee.
coffee, right? Do you write the script first? Or you research first?
So research first. I watch all the videos, I read the books, and there's that weird period where I feel, and it's gonna sound weird, but although it's their story, like I have to make it mine. Like I have to know it so well that I'm like, no, now your story is mine.
Mm-hmm.
Because what people are gonna watch is not his story, it's gonna be my expression of his story.
Right.
So I need to find myself in what I'm talking about, because that's the only way something is gonna feel true. It's because like the storyteller is gonna find what he or she resonates with, and like extrapolate those things, amplify those things. So there's always a weird process that takes me time. Like I sleep on it. I try to get to a point where I wake up one day and I'm like, oh, I know this. Now this is...
Yeah.
You got the last piece of the puzzle. You're like, this is it.
Yeah, and now it just unfolds.